So yeah, as you can see from the title of this one, quite obviously, this is about like kind of picnics, outdoor tea parties, you know, that kind of thing, a few drinks in the garden, all of that jazz. And what fragrances would we wear for that? Obviously, I mean, it doesn't look it, but believe me, it's about 4 billion degrees and it's really, really humid. Thankfully there's a little breeze, otherwise I'd feel quite bad for bringing the dog out. Allegedly it's only 19 degrees. Anyway, you don't need a weather report, that's not what you've come here for. So yeah, we'll just get started. So first on the list is, we'll start, they're in no particular order and they're quite random obviously, is Masque Milano's Lost Alice. Now this is a representation of obviously the tea party in Alice in Wonderland, and to be quite fair, this fragrance completely embodies it. It's quite brilliantly done. It is obviously very gourmand. It has the notes such as carrot cake, tea and that kind of thing in it. And it literally smells like these things. It literally smells like a lovely, beautiful piece of carrot cake. It's very enjoyable if you like your kind of super realistic gourmands. You can imagine being kind of sat around this table outside, you know, little triangle sandwiches and some insane person and a little a happy hare and all of that stuff. Probably feeling quite uncomfortable as they never shut up. Probably what I'm like as a host, really. So yeah, I mean, that's Lost Alice and that's from Masque Milano. Then we have Love and Crime, which kind of follows the same sort of similar idea, and that is it's a cake again. Well, this one to me is like a proper dark orange drizzle cake. I think the story behind it is of you know, baking a kind of crowbar and hacksaw into a cake, visiting somebody in prison kind of thing, which makes me think of Wind in the Willows bizarrely, because didn't they try to break out Mr. Toad in a similar kind of way as a washerwoman or something or other? Anyway, that's something else, but it does give you that kind of Wind in the Willows feel to me anyway. And obviously eating the lovely orange cake, which it basically is. It's like vanilla, dark orange, a kind of syrupiness to it, brown sugar. It's I mean, that is what it is, but the orange is, thankfully, I mean, I say a dark orange, it has enough tartness so it's not too much. Again, like the last one, it's not something I could wear very often. It's a once in a while kind of thing. So yeah, Love and Crime from Exodillo, forgot to mention that, is your kind of a Wind in the Willows, Mr. Toad kind of a fragrance. Next we have one from One Way Bridge. It's not one I speak about often, but that's She's a Kiwi Honey, which the clue's in the name. It has honey in it, but it's not a dense, sticky, hellish honey. It's quite just a smooth kind of lovely whisper of the honey. It's also got a little bit of a kind of sparkling champagne, and which gives it this nice lift, and it's got greener notes in it as well, which again are quite lovely and keeps it fresh and easy to wear and quite digestible. But it takes you to them places. It takes you to having kind of a picnic outside. Now, with this being from New Zealand, and there's a lot of New Zealand notes in it, obviously this would remind me of, say, having a nice little picnic with the hobbitses, you know, a little bit of all the weird things they eat and some weird fruits and whatnot, whilst smoking on your magic pipe and yeah, a few glasses of what they call champagne. I mean, why not? It will be a splendid time. But it does take you to that kind of great outdoors, the little treats of the of the champagne and the lovely natural honey. It's quite an amazing scent. So that's She's a Kiwi Honey from One Way Bridge. Next, a couple of tea fragrances, why not? We'll go for Imperial Tea, and that's from Killian. And again, this is your kind of most natural, kind of beautiful, perfect jasmine tea. This takes you to, I mean, that's pretty much all it is. Even with this slight hint of bitterness, there will be other notes in there, but it just creates this perfect, peaceful moment sat by this, I don't know, river in Thailand or China, watching all the water lilies and lotuses go by, sitting under a Bodhi tree maybe. You know, it is that kind of peaceful, kind of introspective, thinking, relaxing, calm fragrance. And why wouldn't you have a picnic there? A few nuts and just a lovely pot of tea on the go with fresh jasmine flowers and jasmine leaves, just creating some sort of peaceful magic, watching the world go by. So that's Imperial Tea from Killian. Next we have to have one I have spoken about a lot, so I mean, this video is not full of depth, is it? But it's a more vibrant tea. This is kind of a lovely kind of fruity grapefruit tea, a little sprinkle of the old cinnamon. That's Secret of Success from no, it is called Secret of Success, is it? Hang on. That's right, you can so see. I didn't need to check my notes there. It's Secret of Success from State of Mind. I mean, I could edit over the yeah, this is predominantly like beautiful black tea and grapefruit. And this again is, I find a cup of tea one of the most refreshing things on a hot day, personally. And this one with that effervescent kind of beautiful, warm even grapefruit in there, makes it really lovely. That kind of fruity touch is needed when it's very warm, isn't it? I mean, this could be like a little cup of tea you'd have at a very posh kind of dinner party, you know, down south in Surrey maybe, where they're all wearing like what's it, masks. I can't think very well today, can I? But masquerade masks, and you know, everyone's got little feathers in their hair, and it's all very posh. You're being fed strawberries and whatnot, sitting on some very expensive furniture which has whips and chains on it. You know, it's that kind of a party, and it's a really great fragrance, and it's one that I absolutely love in the winter. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's the tea, maybe it's the grapefruit, but like I say, it's warm, but it somehow kind of shines in this horrific heat. So yeah, that's Secret of Success from State of Mind. Next is from Kajal, and that's Almaz. This was a gifted bottle, I just bought to put that in there. And this one is, to me, it makes me think of being youthful and a kind of fruit salad. Like the sweet, but why couldn't this be kind of a real one? Just a kind of nice sweet fruit salad. And this would be kind of, you know, somewhere, I don't know, of course they will have like a little picnic in the Middle East, maybe sat outside the pyramids just in awe or inspired. It does have that bit of dryness and kind of warm woodiness in there, touches of spice, but it is even kind of creamy, beautiful fruit salads, maybe like a Middle Eastern sweet or an Indian sweet, something you kind of chew to keep you hydrated on these super hot days. It is beautiful, and that kind of, it's not creamy as in a lactonic way, it is just a little bit creamy in a creamy way. No, it's cooling, do you know what I mean? It's more like doesn't smell like a lotion, but it's that kind of creaminess as opposed to an overly kind of sticky, sickly creaminess. So that is Almaz from Kajal. Next we have another, is gifted again, from Swedoft. It's called Sweden. Now this is your kind of sitting in the woods with all the pixies and fairies kind of one. Just smells of all these noble woods, the Swedish woods I believe. And it's got a little, I think this has a little hint of caramel and saffron, but not too much. I'm not a fan of caramel in fragrances, I'm not gonna lie. It just gives it that little bit of body more than a kind of sickly sweet smell. And also in there, the kind of star note, if you like, is this raspberry, but it goes with the woods. It just adds that bit of welcoming warmth. It's not overly tart or whatever, it just kind of mixes in there, giving it this friendly kind of hug. It's meant to represent the people of Sweden, and I can see this because it is very friendly. You know, maybe in this kind of little event I've got going on in the woods with the pixies and the fairies and all of that, ABBA have come to sing, you know, Dancing Queen. So yeah, it's a really kind of lovely, friendly, welcoming one, and it does take you to that kind of peaceful moments in a kind of forest setting. So that's Sweden from Soirèe. Yeah, so next is completely reshot this because I was getting attacked by horseflies. I had to put a hot coat on. This is, if the other one is kind of pixies and fairies and lovely times, this one is more bastards, walking down to deeper into the forest, the dark forest. It's Acro Dark. It's the gourmand that's not quite really a gourmand. It's basically, it's all these layers and layers of chocolate, some of the darkest types. There's no kind of sickly fake chocolate like Cadbury's or Hershey's or any of that. This is adult chocolate. This is dark. This is not particularly sweetened. The only kind of more sweetened bit of that you get in it is probably the little smidge of hazelnut, I believe it is, in it. And it's also got a naughty bit of oud. This is your kind of picnic, you know, starlight, lights of the torches and the fires, as you're kind of with the more sinister creatures of the night, and you're drinking suspiciously metallic red juice and that, which is you find quite addictive in the end. And just nibbling on this dark, naughty chocolate, and they're kind of telling you of how good it is on the other side, trying to tempt you down into this dark, fiery cave. And that is Acro Dark. Finally is from Killian, and that's called Angel Share. That is one that we all know very well, but this will be a good day to kind of end your evening in the kind of moonlight after all the frivolities and that. This is probably sitting again out there, you know, on your posh porch with your friends and your missus. There's no shenanigans. You're all just having these beautiful kind of rich, warm, luxurious kind of brandies. Someone's spilt a bit over the table. Someone's chucking spices around because they've got now better to do with the time. So you get this kind of cinnamony touch to it as well, but it's just a luxurious brandy. And it's also, you know, it's the end of the night, isn't it? You've been here, there and everywhere to some exciting times, and your head just kind of, you just got to rest your eyes for a few minutes, and you can smell all the spilt booze and that on the table, and it's just quite magical. So that's Angel Share. So I'm not going to have a long-winded kind of end to this one. You know, I've missed loads of fragrances. You know, I could have had some strawberries, raspberries, more traditional picnicky ones, some jam sandwiches, but you know me. Anyway, what about yourselves? What would you call your kind of outdoor soiree, picnic, kind of nice little party with your friends and all of that? Alright folks, believe it or not, that's it. No waffle. I've hopefully kept this one under, well, an hour, under about 15 minutes, and this is adding to it. Alright folks, bye.